welcome back to Music with Ryan. Thanks for joining me. As you just saw and heard, I played a couple of arrangements for the popular traditional folk tune Goodnight Irene. I believe, I checked the author and it says Lead Belly wrote this song. Obviously it's American folk tune, and it's been covered by a lot of people. And the version that really inspired me to do this was Eric Clapton's version. There's a live video on YouTube, or a video on YouTube of him at a live performance a long time ago. I'm not even sure the year. And it's really great. It has a great feel, and they do it slow. And so anyway, I was just inspired by that, and I thought it'd be fun to make up an arrangement. Again, as you've seen, the first one was down in first position for the most part. And then the second one got up on the neck a little bit, up on the 5th and 7th frets, and even a little bit higher. And yeah, although some of it seems easy on the surface, as you saw, I'm just playing the melody. There are some tricky things, and especially some left-hand fingerings if you're not used to. One thing I cover in the lesson is this D shape here. Okay, I don't know if you're familiar with that. Okay, and I just talk about during the first arrangement video clip, just about that shape and how I encourage you to get used to it and what we can do within it, and how to play it, just basics about that shape. And there's also other chord shapes in this lesson too. We play the G chord right up here. It's a D shape, kind of out of this thing though too. So we take this guy, play it up here in that second arrangement as well. So this is a good one for exploring some new chord shapes, and it's a popular tune as well. It'd be great. A lot of people recognize it and sing and play it. But yeah, we're going to explore some different chord shapes during both arrangements, okay? So if you like what you see and you would like to purchase the full-length lesson, you click the link above or below, and it'll shoot you on my website, and there you can do so. It'll come with about 50 minutes of video, PDF tabs, and 3 backing tracks. And if you really like the way I teach and approach learning, like this genre of music, I do a lot of bluegrass, folk, country. You can be a member at my site and access my library of over 230 lessons. And there should be a link above or below for that as well if you'd like to just dive right in and get access to everything and think I'm a good instructor or a good fit for you. So for now, we're going to start walking through this lesson a little bit, the first few measures, and give you a little taste how it's going to go. Let's do it, all right? So thanks for watching. All right, so let's go ahead and start breaking down the first arrangement for Goodnight Irene. And as you notice, we're in 3/4 time signature, of course, and there is a pickup on beat 3. All right, so those first 2 little markings are quarter note rests. And also keep in mind that any markings on top of the staff are fingerings for the left hand, and the markings below the staff are for right hand. And I will say this song is pretty slow, so if you do some things differently in the right hand, you certainly could get away with it, and I may from time to time, but in general, I like to really follow the rules of downstrokes on downbeats, upstrokes on upbeats. So I'll play the first few measures here. Looks like we got about 3.5 measures, and then I'll break them down slower. They sound like this. 1, 2. Do that again. Ready, go. Alright, so I got a 0-2 hammer on there on the beat 3, the first measure, on the D string, 0-2 hammer. And, we're going to be doing some 16th note hammers, and we're going to be doing some 8th note hammers. So you want to watch yourself a little bit to make sure, you're giving the right duration. So that's what we got here, 8th notes, 3 and... If it was 16th notes, which we'll get to, but it's, okay, you want to be really careful about that, okay, so, and then we get to, and I'm using my second finger there, and as you notice, I'm going to get to the 5th fret of that same string, the D string, and I'm going to use my second finger as well, okay. Sometimes I might use my third, but I don't want to hammer on the third finger in the 2nd fret. And the song is, again, slow enough where I can kind of get away with some things that I may not be able to playing at a fast tempo. So, and that slide's not really marked there, but you can, it's a pick and slide at the exact same time. 3 and 1. Gotta be really exact. And if it really trips you up, as I always mention in my videos, just take it out. It's almost hard for me to take it out, but you certainly can just, go right to it. So, and then I have, there's a quarter note there, and then it's tied over. You see a note in parentheses, right? We don't play that note. So we tie over for just an eighth note in length. So again, the note in parentheses is a note that's being tied to, and we don't play it. It's just being held. 1, 2. Then I kind of do a little drone thing. Hit the D string, play the open G, hit the D string again. And that's the same note. Those are all G notes. Those are unison notes. 1, 2, and 3, and ready, go. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and then I go on. I got a 0-2 hammer on the G string. And again, this time it's tied over the hammer 0-2 on the G string, sorry. And then it's tied over again. There's a little tie. So there's going to be not a ton of this, but certainly some in both arrangements, this little rhythmic theme that I'm kind of developing in the arrangement. And that is I'm kind of syncopating what I'm doing just a little bit by tying over to some notes. And oftentimes it's a downbeat. And 1, 2. And then I play an upstroke on the open D. That's the first 2 beats. And then to finish off the measure, 2. Then 2-0 pull on the G. So again, I'm creating this little rhythmic theme a lot where I tie over to a downbeat. Just, sometimes just for an eighth note, maybe a quarter in an eighth note. But in this case, just an eighth note, 2 and 3 and then we get into this D shape that we're going to be doing a lot of, not only here, but up here as well for a G chord. And I'm going to play this measure, and then I'm going to talk about this shape as well. So it's 4 on the D there, 2nd fret on the G, and I'm going to use my first finger. Okay, so I got the fingerings marked. Watch your fingerings here. And then I'm going to put my 3rd finger down in the B string in the 3rd fret. I'm sorry, my 2nd finger. So 3rd on the D, 1 on the G, 2 on the B. Okay. 2, 3, and I'm going to strum. If you hit that high open E, it's not the end of the world. It actually sounds kind of nice. Makes it like a little D9 chord. Kind of sounds pretty. But I only have marked there the middle 3 strings, as you see. And if you get it a little bit, you don't want to maybe come forward and be really loud. But if it gets in there a little bit, it sounds nice. 2 and 3 and 1. And again, I was doing a little slide into that 4th fret of the D. Those are eighth notes, 1 and 2. And then a quarter note, 1 and 2, 3, and 1 and 2, 3, and all 3 of these measures. Ready, go. 2, ready, go. 2. So let's talk about this little D shape here. And actually, if I wanted to complete the D shape, and I totally could do it here too, but it makes it a little harder So what I did is I flattened my finger across the 3 strings in the 2nd fret, and then I still have my 2nd finger, 3rd fret B, 3rd finger, 4th fret D. Okay, and then if you want to complete the shape, pinky, 5th fret D, 5th fret A. Sorry, that's a D chord. Okay, now that's a hard chord if you are not used to it. I remember I struggled with learning this chord for a long time, just because that pinky is just a big stretch. But there's a shape there. Whoops. There's all kinds of. Okay, I'm kind of going in and out of major and pentatonic. In a major pentatonic scale, I'm kind of mixing it up. There's the major. So anyway, I'm going to be using this chord shape. It's a good one to know, and again, I'm just using kind of like, not necessarily using the pinky, except at the very end of the 2nd arrangement. But and even really, you don't even need to bar. It can just be these 3 strings. It's a great one to know for lots of fiddle tunes and playing kind of in the Carter style a little bit, but just in general, just guitar land. Good to know. And again, if I just take that shape and I move it all the way up, 7, 8, 9s. Yep, 7, 8, 9. That's a G chord. We're going to be using it because this is a closed position shape, and I'm going to be using it in the 2nd arrangement. Okay, and you can use it anywhere. E. So it's a really good one to know. It's the D shape, I call it. And it's kind of inverted. This way I can do the open A. It's kind of a different voicing. But again, I could do regular old D chord in first inversion, they call it, regular. So, all right, let's move on now, okay?